humanism. Because at the time, the so-called American Negro didn't have any sense of responsibility or other, because he had been just freed from slavery and he was trying to get independent. But when Farad came, it was during the time of mass depression in Detroit and around the world. And you know, when white folks are in depression and recession and everything else, but we're in hell. And so one of the first things that he taught, my mother said that when they first started listening, they say Farad was a smooth talker. So he could sell an Eskimo refrigerator.
Yes, sir.
And so when he told them about all that the original man was God and that they needed to, you were the rulers and the cream of the planet Earth and everything, they accepted that.
Yes.
And they would ask Farad, say, well, since you're God, how come you don't make us rich? And say his answer was, if I gave it to you, the devil would have it 5 minutes after I give it to you. He said, so I have to educate you. So what he set about. But see, Master Farad studied something that was called Negroology. Negroology is a science, because Master Elijah Muhammad, he studied Negroology. And Imam Deen Muhammad, he studied Negroology. And Imam explained it to us. He said Negroology is a reverse form of psychology. He said, if I want you to go in, I tell you to go out. He said, I want you to go up, I tell you to go down. He said, that was our attitude, and that's what our persuasion in life was. Whatever it was, as long as it didn't do us no good. We had self-hatred. We hated ourselves. And it wasn't just something that happened to us. It was bred in us over a period of years, hundreds of years, almost I'd say thousands of years, because the way he spent it, the Imam said that when we were taken into Africa, the African people, they had to come uncivilized. They were civilized, and then they became uncivilized, and they lived a savage life. So they conditioned us for this period from when we came here. There never has been, and there never will be, anything like the so-called American Negro. Never. Running, crawling, flying, or walking. You won't find nothing like him. He's one of a kind, and he can do anything. Anything. He's the best skater, the best fighter, the best, you name it, he's the best. That's why they try to keep you out of certain areas, because they know once they get there, you're going to excel them. So when it comes down to the humanism that he says the first thing that you have to remember in your humanism consists of so many things in your own body. Allah put that into you. So when you see one of the main ingredients of humanism is love, what's love got to do with it? We say, well, hey, if you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody else? See?
Good point.
So the thing is, so he said, and this is what Farad stressed. He said, love. He said, and one of the first lessons that he taught him in his lectures and in his school of thought that he brought, because he gave us all kind of the supreme wisdom, the student enrollment, and we had everything. And you had to remember this. But you didn't write it, you remembered it by heart. Same thing with your prayers. And the first thing he said was to us was, what's the first law of nature? If I ask you right now, what is the first law of nature? What would you say? No. Imam said that's not the first law of nature. The first law of nature is knowledge. He said, because if how you take care of yourself, you don't know how. He said, and they told us, he said, the first law of nature was self-preservation and nation before self. So we put the nation, as right now, there are people that contribute to the mosque care, that they don't miss a beat. They give before they pay their bills. They're dedicated. They're loyal. And they do this, and some of them is on fixed income. I remember there was a sister in Detroit. There's quite a few of them. Anyway, I used to go by, and the Imam used to call, and you'd ask about her. Yeah, that's how his brother saw him, how his sister saw him. So and that was my cue. Go check on him. Go see. So I'd go over at their house and check on. The first thing they would ask, how's our dear beloved teacher? How was he? He gave this to him. And I'd had to take it and put it in his hand because he would spend it for the community. He didn't take it for his, this was personal things that people wanted him to have. And he spent his home money for the community's life. Okay? We accept that. And he was concerned about it. And when one of his wishes was to have a place for us to put our seniors. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He said, if you don't do it for them, do it for you, because you're going to get old. And if we don't take care of our own, who's going to take care of them? You go to these places, they got maybe 20 people on one floor, one girl or one woman to take care of all them 20 people. They got to feed them and wash them and clothe. But sometimes some of these people don't even eat. We went one day to see Sister Mary Bacha, and she was in there, and they had a big old pork sandwich up on the plate. She didn't know. She don't know, and so nobody there to feed her. So I mean, this is the humanism. Go check on these people. If you don't, because they're not. It's not that they don't want to, but like the lady said, they didn't want to spend no money to hire nobody else, so they got this one woman taking care of all these people. The humanism is gone. They reduced it to nothing because of the monetary values. They put money on everything. There's a price on everything. How much are you worth? How much is your life worth? That's what they're saying. Well, you're going to die anyway, so hey, let's help them along the way. So, I mean, all these things that Farad taught us, he said the lessons that he gave us, okay, we came out. But one thing about when he was teaching, and under Master Elijah Muhammad, is a thing that you often hear people say, well, this experience under Imam Muhammad, we don't have the love and everything that we had in the first experience. Oh, we had it. We didn't lose it. We just misplaced it. That's all. No, you push it to the side. Because when you take and consider Imam Muhammad, look what he gave us. His whole life was dedicated to this teaching. We went to Toronto once, and he went to address the immigrants there in Canada. And he was talking to them, and when he got through, they asked him, one of the immigrants had a checkbook, and he told him, he said, whatever it takes for you to remain with us, he said, right, I'll bring your family and everybody else you want. I'll bring them here. We'll bring them to Canada where you could stay, and we'll take care of you. And Imam looked at him, and he had that far away look, because I mean it was something that and he looked over at us. And I guess he said, and he said, no. He said, I appreciate the offer and everything. He said, but I have to go back to my people. Yes. And I tell you, it had it been me, y'all just been in trouble. Somebody gonna open up a checkbook, man, and give me a blank check. I had to think twice. It wouldn't be too many thoughts about going. Because I know, see, but his mission, Allah blessed us. In the Quran, it says, one that's born from among you. He was not only born among us, he was raised among us. He did his life work among us, and he passed away from among us. And like Sister Nazelle was saying, he said when he left here, he said it many times after, who are you? I'm Imam W.D. Muhammad. You're Imam W.D. Muhammad. Everybody in here is Imam W.D. Muhammad. This body of knowledge, this is not just a religion. This is a body of knowledge that he left. And if we don't take it out here and give it to the community, we stingy. We cheap. It's getting around. You go to McDonald's and spend $9 or $10, but you come in and put $1 in the charity box. And then you wonder why, man, I don't know, why am I... In the street, it's called luck. In the religion, it's called blessings. But you went, man, why my luck so bad? I went out there and the police stopped me before I got to the corner. That was a $300 ticket where you put $2 in the daggone box. What the hell you expect? No, I mean, this is where it's at. The loyalty. The Nation of Islam was built because you had loyal people there that was followers. They were dedicated to it. When you say, my word is bond and bond is life. I give my life or my word shall fail. Now you can't even take the word because half of them, brother, I ain't gonna go there. But anyway, this is real. We're right now. This is our building, right? Okay. When we was over at the hotel, Allah saw fit. Said, well, Imam had made his transfer. Okay. So now we are looking for a place to go. So the young man stepped up to the plate. Nobody made him. Everybody saying they talking about, well, they made y'all take 300 papers, and they made y'all do this, and they made you're a lie. Nobody made my mother go to jail. Nobody made my father go to jail. Nobody made my brothers and them go to prison. That was their choice. When you wrote for your ex, nobody was over you to write for you. That was your openly. When you made your shahada on Imam Mohammed, nobody stood it. He didn't take you in the back room to make your shahada. You made it. You said, I openly declare La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. You openly. Nobody made you do this. Nobody made you write your letter. You did it because why? Your convictions. Everything you do, Allah made in twos. He gave you 2 eyes, 1 sight. 2 feet, 1 direction. 2 hands, 1 feel. 2 lips, 1 taste. And on and on and on. So remember, whatever you do in this life, the things you do 2 by 2, you're going to pay for 1 by 1. And that's a fact. If it don't come out the wash, it's going to come out the rinse. But it's all coming out. I mean, we need to get serious about it because we had a critical moment right now. We need funds to look at that. We need to expand. We need room. The Ramadan session here, we pound on top of each other like sardines. All you gotta do is add some oil. We be sardines. But let's get together here, and we can do this because we have done it. When we wanted $2 million for an airplane, how long did it take us to get $2 million cash dollars? Huh? Y'all, you know, because you was here. Many of you went home and got money. You got your lunch money. You got your house money. But you got it, and you came back, and you never even saw the airplane. Now here you got an opportunity now to put this program over. What Imam said, you're Imam Mohammed. It was his mission was to do this work. Our mission is to complete it. Here's a young man. He ain't scared. I can follow him. I can work with him. See, Elijah Muhammad wasn't a scared man. That's what brought most of you here, because you wasn't scared. Imam Muhammad wasn't a scared man. He walked out. He didn't care about who was out there or who was the, hey, brother, we need. He didn't need no security. You see him riding around the streets of Chicago all over the country by himself. Because what he said, Allah is sufficient to protect me. And Allah protect him, and he guided him, and he looked. That's why we're here. Many of you here because of what you heard him say. Some of you never even saw him. There's people out there, man, that never met Elijah Muhammad. And some of you been in this community since he brought you out of wherever you were at. I ain't going to say where the houses you were in, but he brought you out of them. But the thing is, though, you hear. You heard the word. You say, I hear and I obey. I heard a call calling. That call has called us, okay? We don't answer. You can't blame nobody. You can't say, well, I would have done this if Elam had told me. No. Say it's all on us. So stop the la-la. Loyalty to your religion. What is religion? Allah says in his book, this day I prefer for you a religion. It is called Al-Islam. He didn't say the nation of Islam. He didn't say he had a nation. He said, I prefer a religion for you. Religion means way of life. This is something you choose. I choose to live like this. I don't want to live like that. I'm choosing. This is my choice. This is what I made. This is what I do. We can do this. You know why? Because we did it before. Yes, sir. We've done it. It's nothing impossible. It's just the idea. It's like he said, Elijah Muhammad said, the hand. So you see a finger? So if somebody grabbed that finger, they